Well, you remember the story I told last week about Dixie, I think, a week or two ago. She never gave us a number.
Yes.
She said, well, if the pay-per-view was up 10% from the earlier one. And I never understood that. And nobody ever found out. Well, somebody may have found out, but
we had the name of the guy, and I can't remember who the guy's name was, but I wrote it down and I told it you, and you said that was the guy who was feeding you the wrong information for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's easy to find. I didn't know him. He wasn't there long. On the first pay-per-view that TNA did, brother, everybody was through the roof. We said he come back with preliminary reports that it did like 80 or 90,000 pay-per-views. And of course, they're ecstatic. Those pay-per-views were like $35. How much money is that? Say 80,000 times $35. How much is that?
Oh my God. 1 second. Hang on. 1 sec. Right. So what was it? 80,000 times. Right. So 80,000.
It was $35.
Times 35 equals 2.8 million. But you've got to divide that by 2.
Yes, but that's a hell of a payday.
That's nearly 1.5 million per week they would have been making if they got 80,000 a week for those weekly shows.
Well, okay. Say they're making. I think we was doing a pay-per-view a week. So even if it got to 50,000, that's still a hell of a payday.
Mm.
You picking up that money.
Yeah, 4 million a month or something maybe.
But they didn't do 80,000. They finally got it down to where, and he was feeding them this information. They hired him out of, I guess, was WCW still
Clown
around?
College? Sorry.
Was WCW still around? They were, weren't they?
No. TNA opened because WCW was closed.
Okay.
So they closed the year before.
Because the guy had worked for WCW. That's why he was there.
Huh.
And everybody was excited. They went out and bought a bunch of stuff. Now they're saying, we can't pay for it. What are we going to do? That's actually, and Jeff Jarrett quit the company about 6 months to a year after that. He said, I just can't take it anymore.
Jerry
did. And then, but Jerry wanted Jeff to go with him, and Jeff had put all his money into TNA, so he couldn't leave. So, but they got through it. They got the Carters to buy in, and they ran for a while. But I think the Carters did make money, and they wouldn't let any figures out, which was a mystery to me. You know, the whole time I worked in TNA, I never met the old man Carter.
No, was he? Or the mother?
I think he was, but I was too busy doing other stuff.
Sitting in catering. So, did he not go to catering then, Bob?
No, he didn't go. But never met him. I never met Dixie Carter's mother. And they were nice people. I guess people said some other people met them, so they were nice people. I mean, why would you say somebody's an asshole? If you just met them, they owned the company. But they weren't that. I don't think they understood, or Dixie Carter didn't understand actually the business she was getting into. Because she was a wrestling fan from wherever she grew up, and she watched WWE or Elf, saw these big crowds, heard all these big pay-per-views, and wanted to get into the business. So she did. And she was met with what she was met with. So, but I will say one thing for TNA. I worked for them 9 years, which is a long time for me, a long time for anybody to work for a wrestling company. But I worked for them that long. And when old Hulk Hogan came in, they disbanded the entire creative team, except for Vince. And which surprised me, because Vince and Hulk don't like each other. But that's the way it played out. I hadn't said too much about that, but that's the way it played out.